Hey guys, so this video is to help you out with Dinraal. He is the fire dragon, similar to the other two. One is electricity and one is ice. Dinraal is without a doubt the more challenging of the three. And the reason he's so challenging is because as soon as you get within a certain range of him, you're going to catch fire. You need to have like the flame breaker armor and the both pieces of it, or else you'll immediately catch fire. Having heat resistance won't save you here, or any of the potions. You need to have flame guard. So that what makes him a lot more challenging. You can't just land on his back and start picking off scales or the spikes. You can't easily grab a fang or a claw or whatever. A second challenge is where he likes to hang out, on these sort of mountainy areas. It makes him quite difficult to shoot, because if your piece falls off that you're looking for, like the fang or a claw, retrieving it can be a little bit of a challenge. So I'm going to try and go for a fang this time, because I got a claw off Nadra the last time in a scale. So you can see from the distance anyway, the pointed tips on his claws, they're like bright red. If you shoot one of those with an arrow, it will make the claw fall, and then you can head down and retrieve the claw, and it's all yours forever. If you want to scale, you're going to have to get on his back and use a sword and just slash his back, and the scales should fall off nice and easy for you. Now, if you want the fang, you're going to have to shoot him in the face. And I know that sounds quite aggressive to start with, but that's what you're going to have to do. I only have one piece that'll give me flame guard at the moment, but I'll give it a go and see if it'll help me out. And I'm going to try and grab a fang off him just to demonstrate how you actually get the fangs. So I've got a bow ready, and I'm ready to at least give it a go. Now you'll see when I get too close to him that there's going to be an awful lot of fire. Now I'm hoping I can get caught in his updraft. Now all these dragons have like an updraft that comes around and that helps you there we go. So as you see, I didn't have to go to town to get a fang. Keep an eye on where it falls. Now you won't always get as lucky as I did there, and I've caught many of these fangs before and not had the same good fortune. Oh, I think that's about to go off the cliff. God damn it, I saw it flying off. That's that stupid Goron guy. He threw me off. But anywho, this was part of what I'd mentioned at the start. I bet you I could have grabbed that fang a minute ago. This is what I mentioned at the start, that why he is one of the more difficult dragons as well, because he has a weird flight pattern that makes him very hard to gather the supplies from. I'll see if I can go down, but I don't think this area is allowed. No. Well, that's it. So the fang is gone. Anyway, you can see what you would have had to have done to actually grab it in the first place. It should have been easily to collect. I should have been more prepared. But either way, you will have to keep your wits about you with him. I did see him fly past the Akala Highlands. He did fly past the tower, and he goes up past the kind of hoop here and along and down, and then around by Death Mountain. But he's just so unpredictable, and I know I said in my previous video about the ice dragon, Nadra I think it was, that you can get it at a certain time of day. Now I can be fairly sure that if I came back to this exact point in 24 hours time, he won't be here. So I don't think it's going to work for you either. He seems to have random spawn patterns, and they don't equate to any sort of regular time. And this gets more problematic when it comes to like sleeping, because I thought, right, he's here now, if I go back to the tower and sleep until morning, he should have made his way around, but he doesn't. So if I slept here right now until morning, till noon or night, he would still be in that exact same position above me in the sky the next, like when the time had passed from sleeping. So there's no way to accelerate where he comes. Now maybe my game's screwed up. I could be giving false advice here. But I've been doing quite a bit of Googling on it too, and I think everybody who's written a guide or any sort of instructions on where to get the claws, fangs, whatever for any of these three dragons, they give completely different times. Someone says any time between 7 and 7. That could be the case, but like I said, there's no way of knowing where he's going to spawn between those. Oh my god, he's so annoying, this guy. There's no way of knowing where exactly within his flight path that he'll spawn, and he has a massive flight path compared to the other dragons. The other ones have a habit of going through the chasms, and they'll appear at another end of the chasm a few hours later, and then you can kind of predict that a bit better. But he just floats around the sky above the big chasm here, where you'll, as I just demonstrated, easily lose the bits that you try and shoot off him. And, you know, you'll have the problem. Now what you can do is wait. You can, if you really, really needed to scale, just wait for him. He will eventually cross one of the towers. But you're just going to have to be prepared that when it comes, you're going to get screwed. So what I might do here real quick, I did have a save point here. I'll just load this up, and we'll have another go at getting a Fang. Obviously, you know how to do it at this point, so you don't need to continue watching if my voice is doing your head in. But I might even be able to show the fire effect that happens when you get too close. Right, little Yubo guy is gone. Now I don't know. I know if you attach a eyeball to an arrow, it turns it into a homing arrow. Now I don't know where it homes in on, so I might actually give that a go here as a trial system to see if using a homing arrow with the eyeball will target its way straight to his face. Because will it just go to anywhere on his body, not just the face? I don't know. So oh, I didn't mean to do that. But anyway, I'll probably get caught in his updraft like I mentioned a minute ago, but I'm running low on stamina, which was why I didn't do this a minute ago. Well, let's try it with the eyeball. I should have one in here. Nice. That looks like it's done what it should. So good news for anyone hunting. Oh, we got lucky this time. So here we are. This should be my first time finding one of the fangs. The shard of a Fang. God. Actually, another point to notice with these guys is now that I've gotten my Fang or anything off him, be it a claw, Fang, scale, you'll notice that he's no longer lit up, so his claws are no longer bright anymore. They're dull. They're still red, but they're dull. The big spikes on his back will have gone dull. That means you no longer able to get another piece off him. So you can't just shoot 5 arrows at his face and get 5 fangs, nor can you shoot each one of his claws and get a claw for each time you do it. You can only get it once. I rode on top of the dragon's back before, the electricity guy, and I stayed on it for about 10-15 minutes as he rode on the underworld, and the lights randomly come back on after about 10-15 minutes. So if you won't be able to do it with this dragon unless you have the flame guard armor, but if you do, you could ride on his back and just keep farming scales off him for a large amount of time. I'll make a separate video at some stage on how to do that better. I'll wait till the next time I find any of the other 2 dragons, or if I get the flame guard armor myself. But that's a useful method that you can use to farm the items from him. It won't respawn the pointy shards or the pointy bits that are on his back. You might have to wait around or wait to respawn or something for that to happen. But it will allow you to get an almost infinite supply of scales if you're willing to wait that long. And same with the claws and the Fang. But you shouldn't need a serious amount of this stuff anyway. Like if you're only using it to fuse weapons and stuff, there's far better things you can get that are more easily accessible than any of the parts on these dragons. I would expect that anybody who's looking for this stuff is only doing so to upgrade armor from the Great Fairies. So I wouldn't, I don't know if you really need to spend too much time grinding these guys. But anyway, I've rambled on for miles here. We've just been trailing underneath this dragon. I suppose you're able to get an idea of his flight path in this area when he is in this area. And you will see him from quite a distance. These dragons have a mad render distance. Oh my god, this guy's gone nuts. What's going on? Their render distance is huge, so like that's probably part of the difficulty that it is with making them spawn, because they're always flying around, so you can't just go so far away from them that they don't come back. But anyway, This started out being a short video guide and it's turned into 10 minutes of me rambling. But anyway, that's how you get Dinraal scales, fangs, claws, and the spikes off his back. You'll find him in a bunch of different places, but this is one way to do it, and getting the pieces off him is quite easy.